So this previous week, right before we recorded this, the Supreme Court handed down their ruling on Obergefell versus Hodges, which now, in all 50 states of the United States, gay marriage is now legal.
Woo!
So that's pretty great.
So a lot of people are like, when are you gonna get married, Hugo and Jake? Ha ha ha. Never. He's not my type.
No, we're both bottoms, clearly, so it would never work out.
We just would rub butts.
Yeah, it wouldn't work.
It wouldn't be a good, sexually fulfilling relationship. But anyways, in honor of that, we will be flying the new TBR, well, newish TBR Pride logo. Here it is. It's beautiful. It was made by a buddy of mine, Dominic. He's done stuff on the show that you've never noticed probably, but he's been a part of the show silently for a while. So here's his Twitter. Bing! Tell him thanks because it's fucking rad. Also, so we're gonna fly this for the duration of July and then probably the year anniversary next year. But congratulations to everybody. Also, check this out. The day it became legalized, my friend Dave and his now husband Jarrett got married in a TBR shirt. Well, Dave did. Jarrett was reasonable.
So good for them. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Dave.
Hope you had lots of good consensual, maybe butt stuff?
I don't know.
Almost certainly mouth stuff.
I'm sure they kissed and made dinner.
Also butt stuff.
Maybe.
Theme song.
La 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 la. Here we go.
It's the Bible reloaded, logic explosion, like Jesus and Moses, but it's Hugo and Jake. The Bible is jaded, and most of it taken, so get educated with Hugo and Jake. Pull up a pew and stop what you're doing, it's Bible reloaded time. They call it debated, the theist will hate it, like talking to taken, but it's Hugo and Jake. So on with the show then, it's not candy coated, it's the Bible reloaded with Hugo and Jake.
Hello everyone, I'm Hugo.
And I'm Jake.
And this is the Bible Reloaded. This is how we're gonna say things for the rest of the episode.
I once went on a tour of a submarine with a tour guide who clearly this was his summer job. And it wasn't an impressive submarine, it was just kind of a little baby one. And every time he would say something, it'd be like, and this is the mess hall, and this is the bunks where the people slept. And I always remember, and I was like 12 years old, and I just wanted to say, like, motherfucker, why are you asking me? You're supposed to be. He
wasn't really the tour guide. It was just a very confusing moment for him.
So yeah, I don't know. That story came out of nowhere.
Anyways, so today we're going back to 1 Kings, and what we're gonna do is this part is about the different stories of the different kings of Israel and stuff in their lives.
The end of 14 and pretty much the entirety of 15 and 16 is kind of boring.
Yeah. How we're gonna do it is a little different than how we normally do the show. I've highlighted sections, and I'm going to read those sections, and obviously we'll comment on them as always, but we're going to be skipping sections, and I'm not even going to explain what happens in those sections because it's boring. Usually it's just some sort of war or something. So I'm just going to skip right over as if those sections don't exist and go to the next part. If you'd like to read them yourself, feel free to. They are in 1 Kings 14, 15, and 16. It's just that they aren't very interesting for the purposes of the show. So that's just how this is going to go for formatting reasons. So today we're beginning in 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 22. Judah did evil in the eyes of the Lord. By the sins they committed, they stirred up his jealous anger more than those who were born before them had done. That's impressive, because people before them, they had a golden cow thing going on, and they were worshiping all sorts of lords. They also set up for themselves high places, sacred stones and Ashtoreth poles on every high hill and under every spreading tree.
Spreading tree?
You know, those trees that spread out. There were even male shrine prostitutes in the land. Male prostitutes. Interestingly enough, in the King James Version, it calls them sodomites, not male shrine prostitutes.
Which is interesting because sodomites wasn't a slang term for gay people until the King James was contemporary. So this might actually be more accurate than the King James Version, which is weird. Also, very interesting, there was clearly a market for male prostitutes.
Right on.
And I don't think they were for the ladies.
No. The people engaged in all the detestable practices of the nations the Lord had driven out before the Israelites. They're talking about butt stuff. Today is a good day for butt stuff.
Apparently.
I don't know why. I'm very focused on it today. I don't know why.
You know, straight people like butt stuff too, you know, just live your life.
Just everyone enjoy butts.
Well, I mean, if you hire a male prostitute, you're not necessarily gay though, or bi. You could just be like a straight guy that wanted to do butt stuff with a dude. It's not gay, right?
I mean,
or bi.
Whatever makes you live your life, man. I don't care.
Okay.
There was continual warfare between Rehoboam and Jeroboam, and Rehoboam rested with his ancestors and was buried with them in the city of David. Don't know how he died, but he's clearly dead, so I guess we're just moving on.
It was the prostitutes.
Probably. There was too much stuff done to his butt.
They dicked him to death.
Rectal trauma. Severe rectal trauma. It was inside out. It was on the outside. It was like a windsock attached to his anus.
Did he get pink socked?
Yeah.
A pink sock is when you stick it in, and he might have clenched on the outtake, and you take the rectum with you on your dick.
What a great day for equality.
Well, now you could do that with a lady too, but it's, Rehoboam was not a lady, but he did have a distended butthole.
Chapter 15. In the 18th year of the reign of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, Abijah became king of Judah, and he reigned in Jerusalem 3 years. His mother's name was Maacah, daughter of Abishalom. No one cares. He committed all the sins his father had done before him. His heart was not fully devoted to the Lord his God, as the heart of David's forefathers had been. Nevertheless, for David's sake, the Lord his God gave him a lamp in Jerusalem by raising up a son to succeed him and by making Jerusalem strong. So, if God doesn't like him, why is he doing good things for him? We've known before that God has no problem with murdering people for much lesser crimes. God smote a dude for pulling out once. So,
Yeah, he did.
you'd think he
great.
wouldn't help this king raise up a nation going the wrong direction, according to him.
He also smote a lady for being worried about the danger behind her.
Yeah, well, she was a bitch, so that's just the reason they gave. Really, she was just really naggy.
And that one time that guy saved the Ark of the Covenant from falling, and then he got melted.
God was on his period that day. That doesn't count. For David had done what was right in the eyes of the Lord, and had not failed to keep any of the Lord's commandments all the days of his life, except in the case of Uriah the Hittite. He was great, except for the time he maybe raped that woman and killed the husband.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's scoring like an 80%, which is still a pass.
At least they mentioned it this time.
I know, at least they're like, oh yeah, this thing did happen.
We gotta own it.
Whatever. There was war between Abijah and Jeroboam, and Abijah rested with his ancestors and was buried in the city of David.
Is that the second time Jeroboam has won?
He's just really good at his job. That's what comes with being a bone.
Murdering other kings?
Yeah. And his son Asa succeeded him as king. In the 20th year of Jeroboam, king of Israel, Asa became king of Judah. I'm so glad they repeated that for us, because I forgot between sentences.
Asa's tough to remember. Every time, it's just Asa Butterfield, and all I get is his deer in the headlights eyes, either talking to a Jewish boy on the other side of a fence, or commanding a battalion of soldiers, unbeknownst to him, in Ender's Game, which was an awful fucking film.
I wish Harrison Ford would be my old man friend. Asa did what was right in the eyes of the Lord, as his father David had done, except, for the thing we just talked about, but whatever. He expelled the male shrine prostitutes from the land and got rid of all the idols his ancestors had made.
Well, that didn't take very long. Only as long as Rehoboam and Abijah were in charge.
The people who were buying the shrine prostitutes, poor them.
How
what
are
are they
they
going to do? They're going to have sex with ladies in the butt. That's not as good.
I don't know that to be true.
I don't either, I'm assuming, though.
It's gotta be, right?
It's because of the prostate.
I feel like a guy would just know how to do it better, right?
And they know how to work the shaft and the tip in the correct ratio.
I don't even know the correct ratio.
Shaft, tip.
It was. I wish people could have seen how you rotated your neck when you said tip.
I'm not wrong.
No, shaft, tip. Okay, I need people to tweet both Hugo and I, hashtag shaft, tip with 3 eyes.
He even deposed his grandmother, Maacah, from her position as queen mother because she had made a repulsive image for the worship of Ashtoreth.
The queen mother? Is she an ant?
This sounds like a mini-boss in an RPG.
Her head glows red. That's where you aim.
In his old age, however, his feet became diseased.
Oh.
That's a bad death. What happened to him? Oh, his feet got real gross.
Trench foot?
Trench foot. We haven't even invented trenches yet. He got the trench foot.
He had trench dick on his foot.
Then Asa rested with his ancestors and was buried with them in the city of his father David. And Jehoshaphat, his son, succeeded him as king.
Yay!
Not gonna read about Jehoshaphat, though. Fuck him.
Good.
In the 26th year of Asa, king of Judah, Elah, son of Baasha, became king of Israel, and he reigned in Tisra 2 years.
Oh, good.
Zimri, one of his officials, who had commanded a half of his chariots, plotted against him. This is why you don't give officials tons of power. I learned that from Aladdin.
I also learned that from Dick Cheney.
Elah was in Tisra at the time, getting drunk in the home of Arza, the palace administrator in Tisra.
Everyone knows that Arza threw the best parties, though. He was like the frat house in Israel.
It was BYOB, but he had all the weed. Dank weed.
Dank.
Zimri came in, struck him down, and killed him in the 27th year of Asa, king of Judah. Then he succeeded him as king. As soon as he began to reign and was seated on the throne, he killed Baasha's whole family. He did not spare a single male, whether relative or friend.
Or friend.
Everyone who knew him even a little bit. Like, did you sell him that?
It's like Jazzy Jeff killing everyone, including Uncle Phil.
In fairness, he had it coming. He got thrown out of that door a lot of times. So Zimri destroyed the whole family of Baasha in accordance with the word of the Lord spoken against Baasha through the prophet Jedu, because of all the sins Baasha and his son Elah had committed and had caused Israel to commit, so they aroused the anger of the Lord, the God of Israel, by their worthless idols.
Why do they have to do the God of Israel all the time? I know the answer to this, but, like, you can give up.
I don't know. I'm more concerned about the fact that he murdered all these people because apparently the Lord was like, yeah, fuck them.
I'm numb to it at this
Kill
point.
them. Clearly he was enacting the righteous wrath of the Lord, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, sure. In the 27th year of Asa, king of Judah, Zimri reigned in Tisra 7 days.
That's just a week, bro.
The army was encamped near Gibbethon, a Philistine town, when the Israelites in the camp heard that Zimri had plotted against the king and murdered him. They proclaimed Omri, the commander of the army, king over Israel that very day in the camp. Then Omri and all the Israelites with him withdrew from Gibbethon and laid siege to Tisra. When Zimri saw that the city was taken, he went into the citadel of the royal palace and set the palace on fire around him, so he died.
Wow.
So, you know, the people heard that he had killed the king, and they're like, he doesn't get to be king.
And he's like, I'm going to light myself on fire. Did they legalize gay marriage there as well?
They must have. Why else would bad things happen? It's clearly the butt stuff.
Well, also that one guy said he would light himself on fire if they did that.
Misconception, that guy did not say that.
Didn't he?
No, he didn't. If you
What
take
did he say?
He was actually talking about the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. If you're not aware of that story, basically, these 3 people are being told to worship this idol, and they refuse to, so they get thrown in a furnace to burn to death, but they don't, because God protects them. And this guy was quoting that story, and he was essentially saying, I would burn for my beliefs, but he wasn't literally saying he was going to set himself on fire.
Oh.
Is it
one of those things?
It's one of those things where some news source was like, that guy said something vaguely vague, I'll make it about him setting himself on fire. So he never actually said that, people. I get that that's a funny story, but no, he did not say that. He was taken out of context, and I hate when that happens, regardless of who it is. Guy's probably a jackass.
I'm glad you set that straight.
But I hate when people have false information, so.
What's not false information is that states like Alabama and Mississippi are trying to make sure that no one can get married at all.
Yeah, that'll go well. I've also seen initiatives to get rid of marriage licenses in some of those states altogether, and instead they're going to move something that's a marriage contract, which wouldn't really make a difference because it's the same thing. In fact, by doing so, they would then legalize polygamy and incestual marriage because it's just between 2 people. Anyone can do it. So it wouldn't get rid of gay marriage, just them taking their ball home because they're mad they lost. Which is fine. I don't care, because honestly, I don't even really have an opinion about polygamy. If that's what you want to do, that's cool.
Really.
And incestual, whatever. That's your deal, man. I think it's weird, but I mean, that's still your thing as long as it's not coercive, I guess.
It's hard. If it was an immediate family member, like daughter thing, or son, it feels like it would always be coercive. But I mean, like, if you're estranged and come together and fall in love and one of you came out of the same vag as the other one or whatever, yeah.
Do what you gotta do, but
I guess not, but
I just think it's funny that some states are like, fuck it, gay marriage. And it's the same people who were saying, like, if you legalize gay marriage, all this stuff's gonna happen, polygamy will get legalized, and getting angry about gay marriage, they're now saying, fuck it, everyone can get married, fuck you guys.
Is that even That's not even like a good stance to take.
No, and I don't really care. I mean, if you want to get married to someone, whatever. But
Or the people that want to move to Canada.
yeah, the people who want to move to Canada, do it. It'll be great. You'll get
Free healthcare, tons of gays, lots of mooses, a little bit of poutine.
So he died because the sins he had committed doing evil in the eyes of the Lord. So the Lord had him go and smite people because of the evil they had done, and then the Lord smote him because he killed them in the name of the Lord. God is confused, and so am I.
I just think he likes the words smite and smote.
I get that.
And he wants to be able to put them in conversation.
Sure, totally.
With his friends at like Halo parties or whatever.
He's like, hey guys, I'm gonna totally smite your ass, you fucking noob. And then everyone's like cringing because like, oh, who actually talks like that? This isn't the internet. I mean, this is the internet.
Roller skates.
Then the people of Israel were split into two factions. Half supported Tibni, son of Ginath, for king, and the other half supported Omri. But Omri's followers proved stronger than those of Tibni, son of Githa. So Tibni died and Omri became king.
So this is how former governments used to take care of bipartisanship.
Murder?
They would murder the other side. I don't know if I'm good for, but maybe have like a third of each side duel.
Just to even it out, or I should say,
or it could just be laser tag. They don't have to die for it, but
sure.
If you lose in your physical challenge, you're out.
I'd like to see lots of congressional Republicans playing laser tag.
Yeah.
Mostly, I just want to see John McCain. He starts having war flashbacks. He can't handle it. He thinks it's real. Cuts himself and paints his face with the blood. Starts taking out people behind corners, cutting their neck.
And then the attendant Kyle is like, Mr. McCain, you can't. And he turns to Kyle and goes, Kyle, they drew first blood. Do we have a John McCain Rambo?
Oh, I'm sure there's
John
one.
McCain Rambo makes a lot of sense.
Oh yeah, it sure does. But Omri did evil in the eyes of the Lord and sinned more than all those before him.
Wow.
They're really setting this bar really high.
Sinned more than all those. He flooded the world and burned a city. And this guy has done worse than all of them combined.
Well, whatever. He followed completely in the ways of Jeroboam and Nebat, committing the same sin Jeroboam had caused Israel to commit, so that they aroused the anger of the Lord, the God of Israel, by their worthless idols. What he did and the things he achieved, are they not written in the books of the annals of the kings of Israel? Omri rested with his ancestors and was buried in Samaria.
I wish I could end my book reports or something like that when I was in high school with, isn't it written down in other shit? Mic drop. Done.
As for the other events of Scout's life beyond Chapter 3 of To Kill a Mockingbird, are they not recorded in the passages of To Kill a Mockingbird? F. So today we're going to finish with just a little cliffhanger in Chapter 17, and that is Elijah announces a great drought. We don't need to read it, because that tells you what it is, but we're going to read it anyway, because I think you expect us to do so.
Fair enough.
Now Elijah, the Tishbite from Tishbe in Gilead, said to Ahab, as the Lord the God of Israel lives, whom I serve, there will be neither dew nor rain in the next few years, except at my word.
So Elijah, why don't you just say, okay, rain now?
Well, Elijah's an asshole. Anyway, so we're going to be dealing with the drought and some other stuff in the next episode, brought on by God's wrath, as it always is.
So before we quit, we have one sort of announcement. We're changing up a Patreon perk, but it goes for every patron. We just did a hangout with Creationist Cat for his patrons, and we had some of ours because it was short notice, so we didn't get to tell a lot of you guys. But it will be available in our Patreon feed. So if you're a patron, you can go into our feed and see the link pretty soon. I'm going to get a link emailed to me, and then we'll have that uploaded, and you guys can watch the hangout. And it was fun.
I think it's already there.
Is it? So could work out right now. But also, we're going to be doing that at the beginning of every month. The first week of the month, whenever we have time, we'll announce it. We'll have it scheduled for all patrons moving forward. It's going to be like a live hangout, probably an hour and a half, 2 hours-ish, depending on the content we have. It's not going to be like Drunken Peasants, where they just grab, like, videos and comment on them. We riff all the time. I'm sure you guys like that, but this is more about interacting with the people that really allow the show to be what it is, because without people that support us on Patreon, there's no fucking way we pull this off. We do 8 episodes minimum a month.
Just for this channel.
Just for this channel for free, and we've been doing about 5 to 6 episodes for Unpop which, isn't really paying off right now anyways. But no, so those people allow us to do so much, and it's just a way to thank them. And it's not a pay-per-view thing. You're not, there's no stress on it. You do not have to pay us money. The only thing this is extra content for those that allow us to give you guys free content as often as we do, because we'd have to have jobs if not for them. Like other jobs. This is our job. This is an official business, so I mean, it is a job. But so it's going to be more of a talk to us sort of thing. We'll watch YouTube videos together, but we won't share it on the screen as much. What will happen is like, hey, you guys pick a video for us to watch that you think is funny. We'll watch it with you. We'll take questions. Maybe sometimes we'll pick a random person and we'll Skype with you a little bit or something, or hang out with you. And I don't know if you're not a crazy person. If you're a crazy person, we'll hang up on you and call you a crazy person. But no, it should be a lot of fun. And also we'll probably have overtime. We'll do stuff like giveaways and shit. It'll be a good time.
Yeah. So, other than that, we already talked about our Patreon, but you can always follow us on Twitter at Bible Reloaded.
You can follow Hugo at Hugo Reloaded. He's been on there a little bit more. It's getting kind of interesting.
I broke 5,000 followers.
I broke 11,000.
I know, I saw.
Boom.
It's because you're on there all the time.
I am.
You're obsessed. So, I guess that's it. Until next time, I'm Hugo.
And I'm Jake.
And this has been the Bible Reloaded. And next week, because we're over butt stuff, we try sounding.
What's sounding?
Oh, Google it.
What is it?
Sounding. Here's the keywords for you guys. Sounding, penis, safe search off. Bye, guys. Have fun.